to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Oh, shit. Is that one stronger? That salt?
You're referring to the smelling salt
I
we
am.
just huffed?
Yeah, that just got me good.
Yeah, it got me too.
Did it? Okay, good. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com. Mike and Jay, shalom, Big E. Jay, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Mike. I'm fine. What's new with you?
Oh, you know, having one of those days, and I have terrible news to report. We've had to postpone our interview with Arthur Penhollow. Oh, man. I'm so bummed, dude. Art called me this morning and hey, man, is there any way we can postpone this a day or two? A day or two? I was like, what's wrong, Art?
Art, don't you know tomorrow's the weekend?
It's the weekend! I already started dipping into my Crown Royal. I don't think I can make it.
He did not.
No. He accidentally, sounds like, took an extra, pill that he's supposed to take each morning. You know, he's 73 years old. You know, he's got heart medication, pills, and it sounds like he doubled up on one of them, and I'm just not feeling myself. Feeling a bit groggy, I got to be honest with you. I feel terrible.
Well, we want Art at his non-groggy best. So.
Absolutely. He sounded good, and then I felt bad. I was like, well, Art, can't you rally? He's like, I'm on my third cup of coffee. I'm trying to rally.
He was trying. Poor guy.
He's trying to rally up. He's like, I just feel like the words ain't coming out right, and I don't want to look like an asshole. I said, no, Art, you sound good. And then as I'm talking to him more, he's like, he's not there all of a sudden. I'm like, Art, you still there? He's like, yeah, I'm sitting right here. And so I'm like, look, Art, we're still a couple hours away from showtime. Why don't you keep trying to rally? I'll do that. I was going to take a shower and shave. Probably take me an hour. And then I'll call you back. And he did. He called me back, and he's like, I just don't think I can do this. And then I start feeling really bad. I'm like, what an asshole. I'm trying to force this guy to come over here and do this. Like, rally, Art. He's doubled up on his heart meds. He could be in serious trouble. I'm like, Art, are you okay? Do you need me to call someone to send over there to, help you out? He's like, no, I'm checking my blood pressure. Everything looks good, but I just feel a little groggy and off. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I know. But I was excited. You know, he mentioned it on Facebook yesterday and got lots of shitload of likes and comments. And I know Screaming Scott had shared it, that he was going to be on here, and which is very cool. Thank you, Scott, if you're listening. And, for him not to be able to make it, that blows, because I've been studying my ass off on the poob.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like I speak Poobanese.
Do you speak Poobanese, baby? Dig a little deeper, you'll get nuts, baby! I fucking love Art. So anyway, he's excited. He's very, very sorry. He wants everyone to know that he will be here, and we're going to try and get that going ASAP. But it's a bummer, man. I had a shitload of questions to talk to Art about. His stories are legendary. I was talking to Junior last night. He was giving me some worse Art stories. When he went to the strip club, the girls made him sit on his hands before they would sit next to him. That was a policy at the strip club, is that Art had to sit on his hands before the girls would sit next to him. Got a little touchy-feely, if you know what I mean. It's hump day! Every day's hump day!
Hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 29 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. So call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900. Get a free, no-obligation quote today. Again, 734-455-1900, and ask for Brent.
Yeah, I was thinking about Art, the legendary strip club days where he would just go every day and live at the strip clubs to the point where he's got to sit on his hands before they'll sit next to him. But I was thinking, imagine having that gig, dude. Your job is 3 to 7 at night, 5 days a week. And
He works Saturdays too, didn't he?
No. It's Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. And then, you get off work at 7 and you're off work. There's no overtime usually or anything. You've got the whole night till the bars close, and then you don't have to be anywhere till 3 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, those are some good hours.
I mean, dude, that's the gig. You know what I mean? you're in drive time.
Well, you say that too, and a lot of times on special occasions, he might even be at the bar already for an away gig.
Hell yeah.
So it's like then he just has to step right over.
I'm just thinking like in through my career, like doing morning radio, you had to dude, I had to be up at 4 a.m. If you couldn't go close a bar, but if you didn't have to be to work till
3 to 7,
3 o'clock the next day, holy shit,
it's a good gig.
It is a good gig. Hey, between studying for art and prepping for a show last night, I caught the new Netflix special by Patton Oswalt.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know. Do you like Patton Oswalt at all?
He's sure. Fine.
He looks like me almost, short, fat lesbian. But he's a super fucking liberal, so it's easy to just write him off and be like, oh, go fuck yourself, one of these anti-Trump ones. But it's funny. Most of these guys, I think they know, I can't just do an hour on Trump, bashing Trump, and expect to get anywhere. It's got to be funny. But they tend to come out and do their first 5 minutes like, oh, man, the world's coming to an end, that thing. And if you can get through that part, he was talking about,
his wife recently died, though, didn't she?
Yeah, like a year ago. But he's talking about he's like, yeah, my Twitter habits have changed now. Like every morning, first thing I do is I wake up and I check Facebook and Twitter and see what's going on. And he said now I automatically go to the worst case scenario, and so I see what's trending, and it's like puppies are trending. Oh fuck! All right, he somehow killed all the puppies.
Did they round up all the puppies?
What did he do to the puppies? Oh God! How did he kill all the puppies?
That's pretty funny.
It's funny like that, but then, dude, you're right. His wife died. What's the special called? Inconceivable. Look it up. I forget the name. It's
Inconsolable.
Inconsolable. Maybe that might be it. Just came out literally yesterday, and he does a whole thing, and I tweeted about it being genius. Just like how you take something as tragic as your wife dying and turn that into humor. And it's one of those where if you watch it, you might as well bring your tissue box because you can. It's kind of cool, but heartbreaking to see this guy's he's up on stage and he's just like, yeah, kind of rambling with this crowd work here because this next part of the show is really difficult to do. And he's kind of turned away and he's trying not to cry. And it's just some of you may know I lost my wife about a year ago. And then he does this whole thing about what it's like to, in the immediate having to go to the school and what do? I don't know how to pack a lunch for a kid or fucking register a kid for school or, shop for new clothes. This is all shit she did, and I don't know if I can do that. Annihilation came out yesterday or 2 days ago. And, so it really brings you into that moment. But he's like, so here I am. I haven't slept for 4 days. And they make me take my kid out of school. And they're like, do it in the sunshine. Don't tell her after school and then send her to bed with the worst news ever. And he's describing, I don't want to ruin his whole thing, but he's talking all about that. And yeah, it's just kind of devastating. It's the worst day of my life was having to destroy my daughter. To absolutely.
How old's his daughter?
Starting first grade.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's brutal, but it's funny. But he's talking about taking her to school on Monday. She wants to go there. It's normal, It's if mom was here, I'd be going to school on Monday. So he takes her there, and all these kids, the parents have now informed them that little girl's mommy has died suddenly, and so he's like, I haven't slept for 4 days. I'm walking this kid to school, in the school, and immediately there's a swarm of 6 and 7-year-olds all over me, when Alice's mom died, were you sad?
Oh,
and he's
shit.
I
was,
yeah. Yeah, I was a little bit sad. Are you going to have a new mommy soon? Is there going to be a stepmommy soon? And he's just
man.
Yes, I love talking to children, going through this whole thing. And he made it really funny. If I don't know how many people are into Patton Oswalt, but it's a unique special and worth a watch. I would recommend bringing your box of tissues if you do, though. It's pretty heartfelt.
Sure, I want to watch a comedian and cry.
Yeah, he doesn't cry, and it is funny, man. It is good, but I thought I'd let you know, anyways, that I watched that. Speaking of Trump, who he is not a fan of, do you see? It looks like we have a fake Melania now.
We do, man. Body double.
What do you make of it?
It's a fact, Mike.
Have you seen this story going around?
Yeah,
people jumped on this yesterday and were running with it.
I think just some Joe Schmo tweeted that and just got. I mean, it just hit
100,000 retweets or something.
What do? He screenshot scene of Trump and Melania talking on CNN or something, and he just surmised that is not Melania.
It's not Melania.
Because she just has a weird look on her face. She's wearing
Yeah.
dark glasses.
It looks like someone in costume, but she almost looks like she's in costume a lot of times with kind of the overcoat and the big glasses and the
Right.
hair. Like it'd be easy with a proper wig and sunglasses to pull off a Melania look from a distance or as a Halloween costume even. Like people would know who you were, but that people are claiming this is a body double wearing a fake nose and giant sunglasses.
People are awesome.
I know, aren't they hilarious? So Melania immediately starts trending, and I saw people going, there's Melania, Melana B, Melana C, things like that. So critics zeroed in on footage from Trump as he was talking about hurricane relief in Puerto Rico. And he's like, at one point, she's standing right next to him. So the cameras are on both of them. It's one of those where he's going to get on Air Force One and take off or something. My wife, Melania, who happens to be right here. And people are like,
Really?
well,
He went out of his way to say that?
yeah. And so people are like, why would you need to say, like, my wife, Melania, who happens to be right here?
This is her, really her.
Really her, in all her glory. Look at how beautiful my wife. It's like, dude, yeah, she's standing next to you on camera. We all know she's right there. You didn't need to point that out.
Is it
Yeah.
possible?
I don't know. What do you think? Like, we know body
Is it
doubles.
possible where she just like cashes in? She's like, done with this. You know what? I get criticized for wearing the wrong shoes and all this. I'm
Yeah.
not going out with you again.
Yeah.
They're like, bring in the body double. Yeah, the nose looks different.
Well, is that
But
just
here's
her
the thing, man.
sunglasses?
Because the sunglasses have like a nude side to them, kind of.
Yeah,
come
the
down
part-
and it makes the bridge of her nose look bigger.
Yeah, you know the part of sunglasses are just glasses that are
That
meant
rest
to,
on the nose.
Yeah, that rest on the nose.
That's what it is. It's changing the look of her nose.
Yeah, it makes it look like one of those like glasses you
Like
wear
a
with
Groucho
the big,
Marx.
Yeah,
thing.
it kind of does make it look like that, but I think it's just the nudeness of that. But people are pointing to the lips too. I don't know. Do you think there's any? We know,
suppose anything's possible, but no, I don't.
but
see
why
a
would
reason for it.
why would you need her standing right there? You know what I mean? Like have her on the plane. Melania, who's on the plane right now. Like why would you have her if it really was?
If it was a body double?
Yeah,
Right.
Like why would you even give him
Yeah,
the
you just
ammo?
have it back in the background, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. See her over there. She's walking over there to the plane.
There she goes.
She is with me.
You see her. She's in the proper shoes this time
Yeah.
for Puerto Rico.
They're the best shoes.
The best, the greatest. Everyone knows it. Everyone says they're the best.
Everyone.
But yeah, we have seen like Hussein, Saddam Hussein, like frequently had body doubles. Hitler, if you watch old
That
Hitler
was for
specials,
security purposes, though, right?
yeah. But if she like stormed out on him or something, I mean, is that the insinuation? Like she's like fucking him out and then left.
Even his wife can't handle it.
Yeah.
She wants out.
I have the best. She's the best body double ever. No one will ever know. Everyone agrees she's the best. But it makes for a funny day in social media, I guess.
Twitter sphere.
Yeah, when this stuff goes around. I'm sure they'll have to answer for it at some point, you know.
Yeah, in a press
Had
conference.
to present her.
Yeah.
Here she is. She's actually alive. She is still with the president.
It's really her. We had DNA testing done. As you can see on the graph here in the charts, it is definitely Melania. See, Jesus Campos.
You know, I heard that. We as reported yesterday here on the Detroit Cast,
Sure,
he won an Ellen along with the maintenance guy, and apparently Ellen wasn't real hard hitting.
Ooh, shocking.
Detail oriented. No.
Yeah.
She didn't dig into those facts. The timeline
Dude.
never referenced.
It was embarrassing. I finally this morning I just went on YouTube, and you can, Ellen. Most of her clips are on Ellen Tube. So I had to watch a commercial, but then I was able to see Ellen Tube.
Did you see her dance?
No, it just had the segment of him, and it was like 8.5 minutes long. And Jesus Campos is sitting there, and he's obviously, not good. He's hunched over and just quiet and shy. And he's probably just a really shy guy.
Yeah.
The other guy, the engineer that was brought up to deal with this bolted shut door, or whatever, Shuck was his name, I think. He seemed more fine with everything, but it was such a pussy interview, dude. It was embarrassing. It was just like,
It was just her stroking him, right? What
you're
a
just a hero.
is.
Yeah, total hero.
And then a woman came out in the hallway, and you told her to go back in the door.
Saving her life,
Yeah.
clearly. She would have been murdered. And so would Shuck if you didn't tell him, take a cover. Take cover, Holmes. If you didn't do that, he would be murdered, Mang. And the woman would be dead. So you're a hero for sure. And he's like, thank you, thank you. doesn't say much, and then she pulls out a poster like of a blueprint almost of the hotel layout, like his room, the stairwell, where you were, and she's got a pointer, and she's like, so you're here, and then you hear something that sounds like a drilling. You think it's a drill, but it's gunfire. And
I'm a visual learner, so I really don't have a problem having that up there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the way to do it, have her hold it.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. It seemed like a
Kinda
weird, awkward prop to have to just basically call him a hero. And then it turns into the typical Ellen thing where these guys didn't want to be paid. And so, hey, thanks to Shutterfly, our great sponsor, who's giving $25,000. And then Shutterfly comes running out on stage with and I know how much you love the giant check. They had the giant check.
The giant check.
Yeah, for the relief fund or whatever, the Vegas Victims Relief Fund, which is fine and nice.
Brought to you by Shutterfly.
And Shutterfly got lots of mentions. That is the go-to script for these checks, isn't it? I feel like
that font?
That font, yeah.
Probably.
I feel like I've seen that lettering a lot. Even the numeric, the 25,000, looks very familiar. I don't know if they're all using the same.
Is that possibly on Monopoly too, or am I imagining that? I don't know.
Maybe you might be right.
Definitely
Actually,
seen that before.
Yeah, yeah. And then they couldn't let them leave empty-handed, and so Ellen's got another surprise. And Shuck is a huge Colts fan, so they're sending him to a game to see the Colts play, and he's going to meet the team. And then my man Jesus is a big Raiders fan, and so when they come and move officially to Las Vegas, Shutterfly, our fine sponsor, is providing you with season tickets.
It seems so trite, you know? Like
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You've
Commercialized the killing.
Yeah.
Every time he goes
A
to those
mass
games,
murder.
Every time he goes to those games, he can think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
you can remember the mass
I
murder.
got these tickets because of that.
Right.
Thanks to the fine folks at Shutterfly. I know it seems like, there's something campy about it. But I almost don't blame Ellen because that's what Ellen is. Ellen is going to dance with the crowd, and
Yeah.
she's going to have some fucked up kid come out and then make the kid's day by being its own little, Make-A-Wish Foundation. And send the whole family to Disney World. Like, that's what she does.
Yeah, I
is
wonder
gives
why she
prizes.
pursued these two.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There are a lot of rumors about that. And apparently MGM, I don't know if they're in bed with Ellen specifically.
Pointing at the thing, by the way.
Yeah, there's the visual aids.
I don't mind the visual aid, man. I mean, it's kind of weird that she has a little wand and everything, but
I know, because it's right there.
but
She
you
can
do,
just point with
it
her
helps,
finger.
instead of just it gives you context instead of just imagining what they're talking about.
For some reason,
Because corners, right angles matter, Like, okay,
I agree.
Where are you now? Where's the stairwell?
I don't have a problem with the visual aid. I agree, Jay. Visual aids are very, very helpful. You've been very clear about that. My problem is it doesn't seem like something the Ellen Show would have done. It almost seems like it was provided to them. Like, here's how you can nail that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It just,
No, it does seem very awkward for Ellen to be handling this interview.
yeah.
Very much.
And it's going to be the only one. And so people were pointing out how Ellen has a deal with MGM in some way where she's got her own slot machines.
Really?
And so they've got video of her and MGM like promoting it and done giveaways to go there. And so there's some like friendly connection between
Yeah.
Ellen and MGM, which automatically makes people go, okay, were you able to talk to her and because you've got this other venture of yours in their casinos where
It's
it's
got to
like,
be it, right?
I mean, it makes
Because
sense.
otherwise it just doesn't fit, and it seems like a weird thing for her to pursue even.
Now, I'm not saying that doesn't mean that Jesus Campos isn't a hero. That's not what anyone's saying. The fear is that Jesus would spill the beans about the actual timeline of the shooting if he was grilled by proper journalists. Okay? And so MGM insisted that the security officer appear only on Ellen. MGM is worried that the families of the 58 people murdered and the 546 that were injured in Mandalay Bay will launch lawsuits potentially worth billions of dollars against the company. They thought Campos might not keep his story straight under the pressure of TV lights and tough questioning.
But they own Campos? I mean, what the fuck, man?
Well, if they got to him somehow, and who knows, but this is why Campos appeared on that show rather than take questions from Sean Hannity or Wolf Blitzer or Rachel Maddow, which were all scheduled for that later that day. MGM was behind the decision to call off all the interviews and did a deal with Ellen knowing she would not play hardball on the timeline as long as she got to have the exclusive. So David Hickey, who's the president of the Michigan-based International Union Security Police and Fire Pros of America, would not confirm that MGM was behind the decision, but said the company certainly influenced Campos. I was in a meeting with MGM's upper management, and they were definitely concerned about how tough someone like Hannity would be on him. I thought they were being negative, telling him that someone was going to be tough and how they were worried about his health. It wasn't the thing he needed to hear 4 hours before doing these interviews. And and then they go on to talk about how just lame the interview was. And I thought the same. I just thought it was lame. I thought it was weak as far as, like, if this is the one-time world exclusive you're going to get with this guy.
Yeah,
like
that blows.
Yeah, it's too bad. Did you see Chelsea Handler?
Yeah, she's out of her Netflix show and on to bigger and better things, huh? Trying to destroy Trump.
Yeah, well, I mean, what the world needs is another celebrity out there, telling us all how we're supposed to feel and act. So
Political justice warrior?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. She signed a big Netflix deal, like 7-year, $10 million thing to do this.
Her ratings just blow ass.
They fucking suck, dude. And she's getting slaughtered on Rotten Tomatoes, 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So are they rolling her into this documentary kind of format now?
It sounds like the deal that she did was for her Chelsea Lately talk show. And then there was going to be some documentaries, and then there was going to be something else that her stand-up specials would all be through Netflix as well, which is fine. And now she's revealed she's no longer going to do the Netflix talk show, and she wants to concentrate on activism, which is great. She decided to turn her back on the critically panned program after just 2 seasons, as she wants to become more knowledgeable and a more engaged citizen, which sounds awesome. So as far as to cite the election of Donald Trump as a reason for going to not hosting her program anymore, like so many across the country, the past election and the countless events that have unfolded since have galvanized me. From the national level down to the grassroots, it's clear our decisions at the ballot box next year will mark a defining moment for our nation. So, yeah, it's good to know Chelsea's on the job. How insulting, man. These people that are like, I can't do what I'm most known for doing. I need to pull off my expose my Superman S and go save the world now. You're like, who
it
are
can be
you?
better used elsewhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually good at making weed and dick jokes here to random guests in front of a studio audience.
Showing my gross old tits every now and then.
Yeah, doing the Putin pose on the horse and showing her titties. Did you think her titties were that gross?
I think they were. I don't have a perfect recollection of them, but I thought she did some really not good selfies. I'm not just talking about the Putin pose, but I thought I remembered some where she let fly, where she's just like, yeah, this is me without makeup in the morning, whatever, taking a shit.
Yeah,
stuff like that, and just wow. Ooh.
Is there anything less
Harsh.
attractive than a chick who tries to be like, I don't give a shit?
Yeah.
Here I am taking a dump in the morning. Okay, hot, not. Like, I don't think her tits are that bad. Her stomach is, obviously a disaster, but her titties aren't the worst.
Stomach's a disaster.
I don't know about this. I mean, it's not.
She's just walking down the street. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, because why not? Guys can do it. So can I. I'm just like a guy.
Free the nipple.
Yeah, and wasn't she part of the Free the Nipple campaign?
Probably.
I think she was. In her statement, she said, I have decided not to return for another season of Chelsea, instead devote as much time as I can to becoming more knowledgeable and engaged, and to focus on projects that have significance to me. My goal is to be better informed, raise my voice, and participate in a more meaningful way. She'll spend her time traveling, talking to colleges.
You still have the platform, though, after dogging out of this big Netflix deal. That's what I'm wondering. Like, what they had to have sat down and gone, look, this isn't working.
Here's a classy one.
What can we do with you to still save this somehow?
Yeah.
And we'll let you save face. Trump is a butthole, and then that's ripping on her ass.
Her in a thong. Cute, attractive.
Chelsea.
Look at how pathetic that is. You have to like skin down into a thong to get your message across. You know what I mean? Like, even in this like, whatever
Chelsea.
These celebrities have to understand that fans of yours are fans of yours for a specific reason. They don't know you. They don't have a real connection to you. Like, Jay, if you and I start just sucking balls on this show, people that swear by us and this show will leave, as they should.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not your family who's going to be there no matter what, or your dear friends that personally know you. they're coming to you for a very specific reason, to be entertained, to listen to an engaging conversation, to hear Arthur Penhollow, baby. Like, whatever we give them, if we keep giving them that, they will then be loyal to you. But if you and I announced, we're stopping the Detroit cast to focus on activism, like, anybody that's like this show is fucking gone, dude. They're gone.
Yeah, that's what, and I mean, that sentiment kind of hit me when that Eminem did his thing last week, you know? Like, I don't know. Why you just isolate half the fan base like that?
Yeah. I don't understand it, but a lot of them are doing it, and a lot of them are getting more ballsy in that they're willing to go, if you're a fan of his, then I don't want you as a fan. It's like, oh, how quickly we forget who put you where you are. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that's just dangerous. I don't care. Do your thing, man. Whatever. I still like Eminem. I'll still buy his album. And if it's good, I'll like it. But if it turns into shit like this, like Chelsea, I think, is highly, highly misinformed or so bloated ego-wise that it's like, you really think if you run around trying to, like, save the world from evils or from, you know, you're just going to be a full-time social justice warrior, and you think that anyone's going to give a shit about
if
you?
she's prepared to, you know, nix 90% of her audience and just really do something she's passionate about and take away a bunch of money that she was about to earn, then good for her. That's her prerogative. Yeah. But I agree with you. If she thinks she's going to have the same platform, the same audience, that's bullshit. She's just not.
Yeah. Not even close. Not even close.
Man, maybe I'm just misinformed on Chelsinger Handler, but I never thought she was that big anyway. Is she really a big deal?
You know, she was one of those, like Sarah Silverman, that kind of came out swinging, like, I'm going to be fucking bald, like one of the guys, you know that kind of push for chicks to be like, fuck yeah, dude, I love having sex. Hell yeah, porno, high five.
Yeah.
Like,
what was
like
her thing? She was on E, right? The E Network?
Yeah. Yeah. And they do stand-up specials, and as long as you are just funny, like, do what comics do. Instead of trying to, like, take everything that, you know, get political. Like, anybody that gets political in a stand-up thing, it drives me nuts. You know, it just does. It always has. And a lot of them seem to get like that. But she had the Chelsea E show, which was big. I get for them.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for
You
E
know?
it was probably pretty big. And then those books, she had a few of those books.
But
like,
then she bitched about them all the time. Remember, she was like storming into business meetings or during the meetings, like demanding what show was going to go before hers and after hers, so she'd have a proper lead in. And, you know, you're giving me this garbage bullshit lead in. And it's like, you know what? They're making decisions for a network that are based on things that don't just involve Chelsea Handler. So how about you let them make the decisions about where to place shows, and that's their job, and you just do a good job.
Yeah, she parlayed it into something big with Netflix, I guess. So good for her. I just didn't. She wasn't on my radar that much, so didn't realize she was that relevant.
Yeah. Halloween right around the corner.
It is indeed.
All right, do you know what you're going? Are you going Ghost again? Ghost is your main.
I'm going
costume.
Father of Sweet Pie as she runs from door to door.
So do you stay at the base of the sidewalk and let her run up to the door by herself,
I
or
do.
Do you have to be one of those
No,
overprotective?
I stand in the road and she goes and does her thing.
All right. Do we have her outfit picked out yet?
She's gonna be a cat, I think.
Okay.
A little black cat, yeah.
All right. You're not doing blackface or anything. Okay.
She has a little outfit.
She's got a little outfit.
Little sweet pie.
I'm trying to remember what she was last year. Was she a princess or something?
She might have been a peahen, actually.
Peahen? What's a
Yeah,
peahen?
A peacock.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's either a peacock or a ladybug, one of the two.
I thought she was a princess. Was she a princess one of those years?
I don't know.
Maybe. I was going to suggest she could go as Oscar Pistorius. I don't know if you've seen this.
Dude, you can get the blades.
I think they're socks that are made to look like blades.
That's so randomly weird because I mean he's been imprisoned a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Like why did they just think of this now?
I know. It does seem a little late,
Does
doesn't
he just
it?
remain constantly in the news in New Zealand or South Africa?
Maybe.
He's just a guy like OJ. You know, it's just always coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think he's serving 6 years. Like, he was found guilty of
It's
murdering his wife or his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp, was it?
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day a few years ago.
Yeah, it's an easy enough outfit.
I'm
you
sorry,
know?
what are you paying for, though? Like, I don't think that the socks don't look that good enough to me anyway.
It's the cleverness of it, E. It's,
I guess.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm the Blade Runner.
And it is easy. That like this is the mistake that people make. You know, I always go back to Troy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Blade Gunner. Get it?
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what they're calling him? The Blade Gunner? Oh, they are.
They're giving you a pistol.
They're not. They're not giving you the sunglasses or the pistol. That's just in this photo. You're going to have to supply your own pistol. I always go back to the Halloween party we had when Troy went as a beer mug on a table.
Yeah, it's too
Remember
much.
that?
Man.
It's too much. And he had a mask that went over his head that looked like a beer mug, and it looked like beer was flowing out of the top. And then he had a cardboard 4 foot wide, 3 foot
It's
deep.
absurd. You need to be able to
table.
move. You need to be able to drink.
He couldn't do any of
No,
those. Like
he
Troy
could do
couldn't.
neither.
Couldn't like reach a arm up over his thing. He
To
couldn't
me, it's
smoke
a
or
perfectly
drink.
ineffective costume.
It's terrible. I mean, it's awesome for the picture,
but terrible.
terrible, and it results in the same thing every year. That guy is out of his costume within the first hour of the party.
Yeah, and then you're wearing like a black turtleneck and like something on your feet, and people are like, "What are you?" Well, I was that beer mug over. You know, if
Yeah.
you put this over me, then I'm a beer mug.
You can see it. Hold on,
Yeah.
guys, get your cameras out. Show them the pictures of me as the beer on the table.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work. And so that's why Jay is the ghost, where it's like you got a mouth hole, a couple eye holes. You can get your beers in there, no problem. But this one is not a bad thing. It's
Is
like,
everybody freaking out about it?
yeah, of course.
Because I saw people freaking out about The Wall. Have you seen The Wall? I
Oh,
think it's
no.
Party City or Halloween City, whatever, is doing an online sales of The Wall. You can be a guy that basically has a brick wall.
It's not real
costume.
bricks.
No,
That'd be
it
heavy
wouldn't
as
be.
hell.
It definitely isn't real bricks.
Okay.
Just kind of a styrofoam thing that fits over you, I think. Mm-hmm. But
And it just
people
says The Wall
yeah,
on
there
it?
you go.
Oh, okay. So
People are finding it very insensitive.
yeah, Mexicans going to be bummed when they see that.
To me, it's arguably a fucking Pink Floyd reference.
That's a stretch, isn't it?
It's the same script as The Wall.
Is it?
Pull up the album, dude.
Is it the same
But you
script
know
for real?
it's not what it is, though.
I don't.
Got a
If,
Mexican in it. Yeah, there's a Mexican dude wearing it, of course.
is that a Mexican kid? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I want to see the Wall script now. If it's close, I'm
It's
with you.
very close. It's a Pink Floyd reference.
Seems
That's
like
all
an
it is.
seems like an
All it is.
odd time to come out with a Pink Floyd reference, though. You know?
Oh, was it out last year?
Wow. Yeah, you're right. That script is. No, it just seems odd. You know, that Pink Floyd hasn't been relevant as far as the Wall goes.
Well, it just wasn't a top seller last year, you know?
Is that it?
was
Is this-
there. It just-
has this outfit been for sale
Always
for
been.
30 years? It's just making a name now. So yeah, I can't believe that he's serving a 6-year sentence. Oscar Pistorius, 6 years, and
What, was he just sentenced or something?
well, no, but he was found guilty of murder, and he's serving 6 years. Like, how does that wash? Like, don't most people get life in prison for murder?
Yeah, I mean, you remember there were all sorts of retrials and weird proceedings. Remember that?
And South Africa, I think, is different as far as like
It is different, Mike.
just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit different in sentencing and how things go. I know there was another Halloween costume. We're going to start getting these stories like crazy. They're going to drive us nuts after a week or
Cultural
so.
appropriation.
Yeah, well, E and I were in the store the other day.
Oh, my
Which one
goodness.
were we at? Halloween USA or Halloween City?
City,
It's
Halloween
Halloween
City.
City now, not Halloween USA. In Halloween City, we were looking for some items for something we needed, and we go in there, and they've got a whole rack of Native American, and it's
They had the whole feather.
dude, they had the
Really?
whole fucking
Whole
giant
headdress.
headdress. Yeah, it looked. I mean, very peacockery almost looking. They had the beads on the necklace beads. They had the band. I think you didn't you have
Like an Indian Guides band?
the band with just one feather?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you had when you were Little Feather
It's
or
Little Scout. My brother was Little Feather. Fuck off.
Yeah, sorry. It was your
Big Feather, Little Feather, and Little Scout.
Scout. Did you even complain
I
about it?
don't
at the time?
resent it at all.
No.
But
You just told me to fuck off.
But yeah, 40 years ago when I was in Indian Guides, me, my dad, my brother, all in it. And my dad
Oh, yeah.
went by Big Feather, my brother, Little Feather, and I was named Little Scout.
Did you know at the time Little Scout was insulting? Were you insulted at the moment?
I just felt out of it, man. I felt out of the loop.
Yeah, well, it could have been Junior Feather or something, right? With a what
did you want? Did you want feather?
Wee feather, wisp of a feather. I don't know.
Did you want feather? Was Scout
I wanted
the problem?
feather. Yes, I wanted
Did you
feather.
make this known to your father at the time?
He was like, "Why do I have to be Scout?" And he was like, "No, just relax."
Relax, Little Scout. Me, I'm Big Feather. Big Feather.
Doesn't bother me a bit, though.
No, as it shouldn't. But yeah, they've got all those things, and I'm just thinking, like,
Yeah, they're laying it out there. I mean, they're giving
Yeah.
people enough rope to hang themselves.
Go ahead.
Yeah, here you
Try
go.
this one. See how this goes at your party.
And then
Wear
they
this
can
thing.
always be like, "What? This just here if a Native American walks in and wants to, dress
Yeah.
up in Native garb."
So we've got the makeup. They can do the lines under their eyes
Yeah.
and face paint, and we've got some moccasins here. We've got some rainmakers, those shakers that make it sound like rain for your rain dance, and giant headdresses. Like, dude, we see it every year. Someone walks in with a headdress, and they're immediately hissed at.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
shame.
they bronzed their face and everything.
Yeah. So there was another costume, a little kid costume. If you're looking, if the black cat doesn't work out for Sweet Pie, Anne Frank. We've got an Anne Frank out there.
Yeah, holding the diary or something. I mean, how do you distinguish a little girl from, how is it not Little Miss Muffet? Because she's
Well,
not sitting on a tuffet.
because
It'd be the
they-
same damn fucking right.
Dude, you're exactly
Holly
right.
Hobby, Little Miss Muffet.
Yes.
I don't know, Alice in Wonderland,
All they did was yeah, it's Anne Frank.
and they like put a Jewish star on her or something.
Like, that could be like former Girl Scout, Brownie.
See, I was picturing a different outfit, but yeah, what is that tag on her? Like,
I don't know. But I wouldn't have, like, if you gave me 1,000, like, I would know what this is. I'd look at this and I'd go, oh, that's Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
no, her, I'd be like, I don't know, a female Paddington Bear or something.
That's a good call. It actually does kind of look like that. Anyway, a story I had the other day and we never got to is kind of fitting around this time of year. And there's some surveys about what people think as far as supernatural spooks. According to a new
You
survey.
teased this the other day, and you were going to
Yeah.
ask us, do we believe in vampires and stuff
Exactly. There was a story yesterday, dude. We never got to it. I don't know if you can find it, E, but someone claims to have seen, spotted, and took a photo of a family of Bigfoots. And one of them apparently is carrying a pig.
like that? Sure.
So I don't know if that's true. You would think in the day of the iPhone, you would get really, really sharp.
Yeah, no, it's always, oh, look, it's grainy video, but,
Yeah.
there's a figure. You'll see a shadow at this moment.
And you just see,
Yeah.
the famous
Kwame Kilpatrick walking by.
look of the Bigfoot. It's got that striding
Right.
look. Did you have it there? There you go. Okay. Move that over and I'll show you that. I mean, dude, come on. That's fucking Bigfoot, dude. I don't know where the baby Bigfoots are, but
Wait, that's the most recent one you're saying? Or is that the original one that everybody points to and goes, Sasquatch?
it says
Oh, sorry.
a farmer told him he saw 5 Bigfoot running on his orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just too easy to rent a gorilla outfit and go booking,
I know. Yeah.
and then you get a shit picture like that. I mean, come on. Nobody
It looks
takes
like it could be a
picture like that.
bush. Honestly, it doesn't even. It looks like it just blends in with the bushes
It's not
there.
a bush. It's
You're
not a
right,
bush.
dude. It could be a bush, and all it is those 2 feet that make it look different. Like there could be something at a foot of a bush.
Good point. Well, how do you justify for the torso, head, and arms though?
It's just shadowing or something.
Oh, come on.
And somebody happened to spot that in a dumb picture, and they're like, "Oh, dude, it kind of looks like a Sasquatch."
Dude, you're right. Those bushes, that shadow there makes it look like a foot.
Yeah, just cover up.
That's
that
just a
foot
bush.
for a second with your finger, and it's like, yeah, totally. Just be like a bush, like you see to this other side. You see the black and green.
Like if you
If I covered that up though, and you said I spotted Bigfoot in a potato sack race,
Dude,
like, I would.
It's
I'd
like
go,
finding
okay,
the
I see
Virgin
it.
Mary in your damn grilled cheese. I found
Yeah.
Bigfoot in a picture of a forest.
Yeah, because if you want to see that, if you're searching for that, and you notice who did this farmer report it to? Jeffrey Gonzalez, who runs the talk show Paranormal Central.
Right. He's squatching every weekend.
Yeah, this guy's seen more Squatch than anyone. So anyway, that has nothing to do with this survey done
think
by
wait.
Halloween Express.
real quick, actually, now that I think it does. I think there was another photo here that he had.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, it had like, this was his.
Oh, and there's the footprint. You
Oh,
know?
well, that is a big
That's
foot.
damning, don't you think? Just
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I don't leave that kind of print in
No.
anything. I mean, if
Look
that's
at it.
solid
There's
ground,
a normal man-sized foot right next to it.
yeah,
That proves it, Mike.
it's a big
I
ass
mean, he
foot.
certainly couldn't have just gone in there, made that himself, and then took a photo
No.
later.
Absolutely not. I believe him. I think there's a Bigfoot family that this farmer has spotted.
All right,
any-
so it sounds like from our discussion we don't necessarily believe in the Bigfoot or the Yeti. Can we take those off
well,
the list?
you know, I didn't print up all of them, so they've basically given us a rundown of what creatures go bump in the night. And so we'll start out with you guys and see what you believe in. Where are we at with the werewolf?
Nope, no werewolf.
No.
Neither of you? Wow, that's surprising. Vampire.
Vampiric activity.
Well, I mean, we've seen
Obviously,
one, obviously.
obviously, there's people who are fucked up who will like drink blood and stuff. But no, I don't believe that there's like this
But they don't turn into bats.
this
and-
undead, turning into a bat flying.
what about
around.
Ted Cruz? How do you answer for Ted Cruz? No?
Just looks like one.
Chupacabra.
Ah, the chupacabra.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting one. What is that? Like suck Mexican cows or something?
Sort of. It's a creature with the habit of draining the blood from livestock.
Yeah.
I don't really know enough about. I don't know.
he's willing to consider it.
He just doesn't know enough about the chupacabra yet. To
Yeah, I
make
mean,
a-
it,
Well, no, I
it
don't- I
doesn't
don't
sound
know
like
if
otherrealmly. Like,
Right.
it sounds like it could be a regular animal, Mike. Right?
okay. Yeah, I
I mean, there
suppose
could be
you could
a wolf that attacks a cow, and the cow is left dead
Sure.
there, and you're like,
be a coyote.
a coyote. Yeah. You're
Dude,
laughing at my retweet
Dude,
yesterday.
I'm still laughing at your retweet yesterday,
I-
which was
I-
so fucking funny.
I retweeted that fully aware that could be totally fake and a setup.
You don't need to justify this. That was a valid retweet.
Okay, so let me grab my phone. Give me a second.
Is it because it's just the possibility that it's true that makes it so
I know.
outrageously funny?
I know.
And odds are we're going to hear in a week that it was
Yeah,
a total
totally.
hoax.
Yeah, and
blah,
that
blah, blah.
that it was done 5 years ago. And all. Okay, so here's the tweet from Allison Pohl, whoever she is. Someone in the neighborhood Facebook group my mom belongs to washed a coyote because they thought it was a dog, and so then she attaches a picture of this coyote just standing there, just like he's, just gotta wash, and just kind of shivering, standing by a tub.
And whenever you wash a dog or a cat, they get that like bone skin
Yeah.
like look, and he's kind of got that on his hindquarters.
And then what appears to be a Facebook post says, Twinsburg Roundtable Facebook group. Lost dog found on Chamberlain Road, no collar, and seems to be a bit aggressive. Also doesn't like baths, but she was pretty dirty. Took most of the night, but she's resting comfy now on the bed. So just the notion that somebody could have possibly grabbed a coyote off the street thinking it was a lost dog and then washed it and put it in a house
Seems
made
a
me
bit
chuckle.
aggressive.
Made me chuckle.
Dude, that is my favorite line in there. He seems a bit aggressive. Yeah, I bet he does. If that's true, he is so confused. He's so confused. That guy's been on his own. Lost dog found on Chamberlain.
The only thing I can think that's anything like it is like a Le Pew situation. You
Yeah.
know? You got Le Pew out there trying to bang this poor cat.
Yeah.
Who just has simply been painted with a white stripe. Mm-hmm. And he's completely confused. He's got the total wrong species.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get with this cat. Well, this lady's trying to get with a total different species. It's a coyote.
It's a coyote, not a dog. Seems a bit aggressive. I bet he
I
does.
thought it warranted a retweet, but I'm
Yeah.
sure people will chime in and go, dude, that was so fake from 5 years ago.
I know. I'm
Because
waiting for
it
that
looks like
too.
it could
Can't
be.
believe you guys bought that.
It looks like it could, honestly, that picture could be from a vet or something.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they've taken this thing in and saved it.
It was the whole concept that, that
it was,
everyone
it was
found.
well played.
Oh no!
Here we go. It turns out the Facebook
boy.
post was a
Jay,
prank.
What a moron! How did you fucking fall for that? You retweeted it, didn't
Seth
you?
Rogen retweeted it, so fuck off.
Oh man! What?
This is
if
Allison
Seth Rogen
Pohl's
jumps off a
legacy
bridge.
now.
It's too late because Seth Rogen retweeted it. This is her legacy now. So how do we know?
Oh, I don't. This is just on her.
See if you can find out how we know it's a prank.
Okay.
Damn it! I knew it.
Funny concept, though.
Okay, spirit. How do you feel about spirits?
Spirits? Like
Spirits.
ghosts and all that?
Yeah, like the
do think-
soul of someone or
Yeah.
something deceased.
Yeah, I think there's supernatural stuff going on. Like
You do?
I'm prone to believe in
Fuck.
in spirits or ghosts more than anything like a Bigfoot or something like that.
Are they?
Because I do believe in heaven and hell.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, could there be some in between? Is there the spiritual realm? I think there is.
Really? And what
Yeah.
are they? What is their goal? What's their end game? Are
I
they
don't
supposed
know.
to just go, ooh,
No, I don't know.
and scare me?
Maybe.
Because I'm scared of the idea of something like being in the room, hovering there, like looking at me or
Yeah,
something.
I really don't know
there-
why or what they're looking for, but I just, like I said, I believe in a spiritual realm, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility to me that there could be ghosts or spirits lurking
Okay.
about.
Well, if it's a ghost, I hope it's like Casper, because I could deal with a Casper.
He was a good guy,
He was a
generally
friendly
speaking,
ghost. I mean, he really was.
by
I mean,
definition.
how about ghostly mist?
Ghostly, I don't know what that is, Mike.
Well, it's a
I've seen fog. I've seen a mist above a pond, that sort of thing.
okay. It's a ghost in the form of cloudy fog, orb, or cold air.
Oh, my.
I feel like I've seen that, dude.
Oh, my. I mean, I've heard reports of that where, the ghost hunter guy goes in the room. He's like, oh, it feels cold in here.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
See, I always thought that was where like warm air met cold water, and then you get this.
You get rain.
You get rain and mist and stuff, but I didn't know it was possible this was a ghostly
Cold
mist.
front pushing out from the south.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I guess if I'm going to be prepared to recognize spirits out there, then I can't discount, I guess, a ghostly mist.
That's.
If that's
I think
the
that's
form
safe
they wish to take.
because you would be. It would be wrong of you to acknowledge the possibility of a ghost
And then deny that they would take a mist form.
a mist-like form. I mean,
Who am I to say?
Yeah, who are you to say? Maybe the mist-like form helps them when they're outdoors, and then they take the sheet look indoors.
Maybe they identify as mist today, as sheet tomorrow. I don't know.
E, where do you stand on ghostly mist?
I guess it has to be the same as Jay's. I already believe in the one
Can't
before.
just steal Jay's answers.
I know, but
dude.
what am I supposed to say if I already?
Ditto. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
What
I wouldn't
Jay said.
But you know what? I wouldn't have said anything.
sounds educated on the subject. I'm going to go ditto with him.
Fuck you. You know what? For one, by the way, in the last story, I wasn't going to say anything, but in the last story, I said, this could just be a bush. You said instantly no. Then Jay said, yeah, it could be. And you're like, yeah, you're right.
I
You're fucking
reassessed.
right.
I reassessed. I reassessed. I
After
saw
literally
something
a
I hadn't
second.
seen.
After literally
Great
a second. The
point, E.
minute
And
Jay
then
said
I
it,
went on to say it could just as well be a Bigfoot having a potato sack race.
you
I
literally,
Just
in a
in jest.
second.
You agreed that it could be a bush.
I
after-
did. I
after
added to it. I
discounting
didn't
these-
just say
oh, man.
ditto.
In a second.
You can neither
did
of
that
you.
make
By the
you
way,
feel?
I wouldn't have given a response to this because my response was already what he said. If you hadn't asked me, I would have just
Straight
said
out of
nothing.
Stockton.
No, I would have
Yes.
said nothing. No.
I at least elaborated on my ditto. You just laid ditto out there, and I'm saying there's ditto plus what? You can add something to it. What do you feel about ghostly mist?
I've never even heard of it before, I guess.
Back up to ghosts, spirits.
Yes, I
You think
definitely
it's
believe
possible?
in ghosts.
Yeah.
I absolutely have. I have.
Do you have an opinion on are they good ghosts, bad ghosts?
I
Are
don't
they
know how
just
that works, but
are they meant to scare you?
I don't know what the deal is about the why what spiritual stuff happens, but
Well put.
I wouldn't have said anything. I would have sat here quietly if you hadn't asked me.
All right, I'll ask you first then, and see if Jay just has a ditto.
Okay.
Poltergeists, E.
I don't even know what is that.
Isn't that the same as a fucking ghost, man?
It's
Yeah,
a ghost that can make sounds or move objects.
Well, that's the ghost I believe in already. I mean,
We need to revise the whole thing then. We believe in poltergeists.
Okay, so
No,
you
I
believe
don't.
in.
Dude, again, spiritual realm, I don't know. Whether they can move stuff, turn into mist.
All right, we'll get off the ghosts.
Yeah.
All right, we're kind of pigeonholing ourselves into ghost territory here. I agree with you guys.
We're splitting hairs.
We are. Alien. E, do you want to answer first?
You know I already do, so.
Dude, I think at best, I mean, I've said this before. I think at best there's a fucking single cell amoeba out there that's, and we're all going to, oh my God, NASA found life. And it's going to be this one little dumb cell thing.
But that would be a life form,
I guess.
technically,
by
and,
definition.
but I believe they-
alien,
I believe-
alien in nature, right? Technically, because it's not from our planet. So
Yeah, but I'll
so
go-
Jay believes in aliens.
But I'll go
bigly.
further and say I believe. I mean, what he's saying is I believe in more than that, though.
I believe in way more than
yeah,
that.
so.
Yeah, the unacknowledged, right?
Yeah, unacknowledged. Oh, it's such a great spot. Just don't watch the last 15 minutes or so. Because then it gets into conspiracy.
Oh, it gets really goofy about it.
Yeah, dumb shit. But, okay, where do you guys stand on the Yeti?
No, I mean, we went over the Squatch a moment ago, and I think the Yeti is just a frozen version of that, isn't he? Just a cold
What
version?
is the Yeti exactly?
It's an ape-like creature said to inhabit the Himalayan region of
Yeah.
Tibet, Nepal, or Bhutan. Bhutan.
He's just the abominable snowman.
Okay.
No, I don't believe in that shit, man. I believe if shit like that existed, someone would have proof of it by now.
Really good proof,
Yeah.
dude. At this point,
Really, but he blends right in with the snow. He'd be so hard to find.
So
and
do
then,
polar bears.
good point, but there's just not a lot of them. There's not a ton of Yeti out there.
So does the snow fox,
Yeah.
right? There's lots
true.
of shit that blends in. And I know that there's stuff in the Amazon that they'll discover, and they'll be like, oh my God, this is a new species of something.
like I wouldn't doubt
But
there's
the
big
Amazon
gorillas
forest-
somewhere walking around. Like maybe, you know what I mean, on some level in the Amazon. I wouldn't doubt. Like what were those? The Congo. Like what were those? How big were those? I mean, if you just,
Have you just transferred gorillas from Africa to South America?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well.
I don't know.
Well, you know, what's his name did it with the hippos, so who knows?
Oh, yeah.
The drug kingpin?
Yeah. Narcos. What's his name? Yeah, he did, and they've got a real hippo problem now
The huge hippo
in
problem.
Mexico. Why
In
can't-
Colombia.
or Colombia. Yeah, why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? What the fuck, dude? What
Not
are you retarded?
Chapo, right?
No,
Somebody
we'll get
else.
it.
Not
Move on, we'll
Chapo,
get it.
Yeah.
Eel ping and
Bigfoot.
all
Bigfoot. You know, obviously same thing as the Yeti, but more in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon area.
Yeah, I just don't. Do you, Miguel? I mean,
No, not really. I think there would be more photos of it.
Yeah, there'd be
you know,
something.
You'd have something because I imagine people would have set up by now like just cameras. You know, whether they're GoPros or something. And if
trail
there was-
cams would have got it, right?
Yeah, one of those trip cams or something where if activity goes by, like it's just it made sense in the 50s and the 40s and 60s when you didn't have everybody just didn't have a camera with them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you could get some weird shot like, oh my God, we saw something, take a picture of it. It's a blurry from a distance picture.
Right.
But now, dude, we like every inch
That's what
of
I'm
this
saying. You showed me
world
that
is
picture, and
covered.
it's so blurry. Like, why? Why is it so blurry?
Yeah.
It's blurry because we're trying to surmise that maybe that bush is a Sasquatch. That's
It's the
why.
only way you'll not see the zipper.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar.
Thank you.
So maybe he brought some silverbacks over too. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, whatever. I don't really believe. Much like you guys, though, if there was a real Bigfoot walking around legitimately like that, we would have pictures.
How do you guys feel about the boogeyman?
No, I don't believe in the boogeyman.
A malevolent spirit that preys on children is the boogeyman.
Slender Man.
Nessie? Where do you guys stand on Nessie?
No.
Loch Ness Monster? No. Demons.
Again, spiritual realm stuff. I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that could exist.
So they define a demon as an evil spirit or devil-like entity. How about the Jersey Devil? Legendary creature said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey.
No shit. That's the impetus for the New Jersey Devils hockey. I mean, I
Probably.
always thought that was kind of random that New
Yeah.
Jersey was called the Devils.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where do you guys stand on zombies?
No, absolutely not.
E? You just gonna copy Jay?
Zombies?
Come on, man.
Nah, no.
It's a
Come on. What are you even talking about?
it's a speechless human said to have died and been supernaturally reincarnated.
What's the deal? If they bite you, you're a zombie too.
That's
I think
vampiric
they-
stuff. I don't know if that
Oh, I
stands
thought
true
zombies did that.
for zombie.
Oh,
Oh,
you watch Walking Dead?
yeah,
What do they
that's
do?
true.
They
Yeah,
bite
if they
you?
bite you, if they bite you, you'll be
You know what I
infected.
think they said was like, I think I read one time that like back in the day, people would make mistakes on like whether someone was dead or not, and they would absolutely put them in the ground, and
They
then
put
people
them in the ground?
They would lay them in the ground or whatever, and then sometimes people would wake up and freaking
Yeah.
and in small freaking little towns, you know, back in the day, they'd be like, "Oh my lord, you know, he came out of the grave,"
Yeah.
and that's like what that came from.
That's where the term dead ringer comes from.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, the term dead ringer comes from people that were like, man, I think he's dead. Let's bury him. And it was like the guy's just like knocked out. And so they started
What's a ringer?
well, they would put them in the ground and they would tie a little knot to their toe and have the string come out and attach to a bell.
Oh shit!
And so if someone woke up underground and started moving, the bell would ring.
did people not have pulses back then? What's,
I don't know. I don't-
Was this the time where we're drilling holes in heads to let demons out and stuff?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dude's got a headache. Drill a hole in his head.
Could you imagine if you're a dead ringer, though, you're underground, and all of a sudden you hear that
Wow.
ding, 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 bell going off, and it's like, well, dig him up. Pete's still going.
What about fairies? We're not just going to gloss over fairies because that's what E is really passionate about.
He's into fairies and
Lilliputians.
Lilliputians.
Yeah.
E, is that correct?
No.
As far as like how we believe by religion, I thought it was interesting. And you guys, we all did fairly the same. It's not a big stretch, but if you're an atheist or agnostic, 88% of them believe in aliens. 57% of Christians believe in aliens. 82% of the Jews believe in aliens. Catholics, 69% believe in aliens. And Buddhists, 92% of Buddhists believe in aliens. As far as spirits go, atheist or agnostic, 44%. Christians, 65% believe in spirits. Jewish, 55%. Catholics, 70% believe in spirits. 46% of Buddhists. What was the other? Let's see. Demons, 21% of atheists. 67% of Christians. 53% of Catholics. 9% of Jewish believe in them. And then it kind of tapers off and gets into really small percentages when you're talking about Yetis and werewolves. Not many believe in that.
I think it's interesting that they separated Catholics and Christians.
I did too. But but 26% of Christians believe in Bigfoot. 26% of Catholics also believe in Bigfoot.
What?
Yeah. 29% of Catholics believe in Loch Ness monsters. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
Odd. Hey, Hamlin Pub supports the Detroit Cast, so let's make it a point to support them with locations in Rochester Hills, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 in Shelby Township. You know there's one near you. Hamlin Pubs have great food, ice-cold drinks, tons of craft beers, TVs, games, and great entertainment. Come on by or book your reservation today at hamlinpubs.com. And, of course, on October 28th, 6 p.m., 22 miles in Hayes location, we're going to have the one and only Jerry from the San Francisco Jacks.
Can't wait. Hey, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We've got to do E's history.
Hell yeah.
I feel like learning something
See, that's
today.
a great thing about the one silver lining in art not being here is we get history in today.
Exactly. And I feel like I could learn. I want to get my learn on. I really do today. And then Tom Jones, Sir Tom Jones, in the news today. We'll get to that as well.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hello, and welcome to the information line for the San Francisco Jacks, where you too may see the thing itself.
If you're going to San Francisco.
Not so fast. Hi, Detroit. It's me, Jerry, the voice of the San Francisco Jacks. And I'm not going to San Francisco. In fact, I'm leaving San Francisco and making my first trip ever to Detroit.
Welcome to motherfucking Detroit, goddammit, Wonderboy.
You may have heard my voice over the last 20 years, but now you can come out and meet me in person. Thanks to my friends Mike, Jay, and Big E from the Detroit Cast, I'll be in town. I hope you'll all come out to the Hamlin Pub at 22 Mile and Hayes Road in Shelby Township, starting 6 p.m. on Saturday, October 28th. Mark your calendars. Plan to come out and hang out with the entire Detroit Cast crew and me, Jerry, the voice of the San Francisco Jacks. Once again, that's Saturday, October 28th, starting at 6 p.m. at the Hamlin Pub on 22 Mile and Hayes in Shelby Township. Come one, come all. We'll take pictures, drink beers, and have a blast. That's my promise. Woof woof.
Welcome to Detroit City. I said, welcome to Detroit City.
J.O. play only. No cocksucking, no butthole play.
Everywhere we roll, that's go around, and they all know tricky. That's what's good, and they all say tricky.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com. Mike and Jay, and we'll get to E's history in a moment. He's reviewing his notes. I'm inclined to give him a few extra minutes just because of the whole Arthur Penn debacle today. He didn't think he was going to have to do it.
Yeah, you had to scramble a little bit.
Yeah.
And, read a paragraph or something.
And we really don't expect much anyways, and so even less today.
Yeah.
So we'll give him an extra couple minutes. I was thinking about, it's the weekend! And we're taking our first trip to the new Little Caesars Arena, man.
I'm really looking forward to this, man.
I am too.
Drove by it a couple times last weekend because of the marathon stuff, and wow, how outstanding does that look?
Yeah.
I'm not, this isn't news to anyone. I'm sure 90% of the listeners out there have been there already. We haven't,
Yeah,
but we're
probably been to
going.
multiple shows.
Yeah, we're going with new favorite listener Bob.
NFL Bob.
NFL Bob is stepping up again.
Yep.
Just an example of what listeners could do.
What they're capable of when they put their mind to it.
Right.
They really put a little effort and thought into it.
Yeah, what is it? Party bus, dinner, drinks.
Dinner, drinks.
Yeah.
New stadium, going a little bit early so we can take in the stadium. I mean, just thinking the planning that NFL Bob has put into this. I mean, just one of your true listeners. I mean, some good ones out there. There's
He's a good one.
There's some like, was it Jeff that went to the country, that goes to the country club and hangs out with Gabara, but doesn't support the sponsors.
Yeah.
There's those guys, and we love them too. Jeff is fine. He's not going to be responsible for carrying this show, keeping it going.
What is it,
but,
the 80-20 rule, where 20% of the people do 80% of the work?
Yeah.
So NFL Bob doing yeoman's work.
He's probably
entertaining us.
10% of that 20% himself.
Seems like it.
There's a few guys out there. Ed Grabos of the world have done some yeoman's work around here.
He's done some
I
shit
mean,
here.
yeoman's work.
He's done some shit here.
His is more like not so much show related as my house related,
Yeah,
maybe.
keeping you going related.
Yeah, I mean, if a pipe freezes, it's like, what do we do? It's like, Ed just send out the bat signal for Grabo, and he comes through. But, people sending us salts. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Not to the NFL Bob level, but so we're really excited about that. I was wondering, there's no Lions game this weekend. What else you got going on, Jay? Anything fun?
The boys have homecoming.
Oh, excellent.
Which, it's a little different than when you and I went. Not that you and I went.
We did not. No.
When we attended homecoming, not with each other.
I went with Corey Davidson, actually. I did not go with Jay.
It's a little different nowadays in that kids will actually go in packs. Like a bunch of dudes will go just as a group. They don't get a date. They just go and have fun.
See, I remember hanging out with you guys. I guess when I didn't have a date, whether it was prom or homecoming.
Yeah, I remember
just like
prom. I think you met and just partied.
Yeah. Met you like, okay, I'll meet you at the whatever hotel afterwards.
No, this is different in that like the kids will actually get dressed up and go. They don't go to dinner, I guess. They'll just go to to like a pre-party thing, do pictures, hang out, and then just go to the dance.
So they don't take do they take limos still?
I think maybe some people do for homecoming, but yeah, limos for prom for sure. Prom is blown up, man. Prom is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing that was not at all on our radar, and I don't know how long this has been around, and I don't know where the hell this came from, but it's making a sign to ask a girl.
Oh, yeah. It's been a few years now, probably.
Has it?
Dude. Yes, where it has to be on now. It has to be on Snapchat or Instagram, and there are some elaborate ways now.
You
to
have to make a sign.
You have to?
You have to go buy a thing of poster board, and you have to come up with a snazzy, snappy way to ask your girl. It's almost like a haiku. You're almost given like a certain number of syllables.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Yeah, I'm going to homecoming.
How about with you?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Boom,
Yeah.
bam.
Yeah.
You throw some glitter glue on there. You got it, man.
Nice. They all have to do. You can't. Is there a way still to just
I
be
think
like,
it's
hey,
like an
Lisa, you want to go to
expectation.
prom?
No,
you want
I,
to go to homecoming?
I think it's like an expectation, like a corsage. Like
Dude.
because the girl needs to then post it, right? And you
yes.
haven't really
the
been
egos
asked.
we're
unless-
creating, dude. It's just asinine.
Of all the fish in the sea, will you go to prom with me? But here's the thing, dude. To me, homecoming is way a step back from prom. Homecoming is way less formal.
Yeah.
Prom is for seniors. It's like
Yeah.
okay, your last hurrah. But for this to go to homecoming to this extent, it sucks for the kids to have this extra stupid step
Yeah.
But I think it's also it's a function of look at me on Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
whatever. Look what my boyfriend did for me. But I think it's also a way that the kids avoid like having to have that what you just
conversation.
Will you go to homecoming with me?
Yeah.
And have to look them in the eye and ask them. You just present this dumb picture and go, "Huh."
Is homecoming the one where the girls ask the guys, or am I thinking of something totally different?
I don't
No.
think that's out of the realm. I mean,
Or is there a reverse one where
or are you thinking of the Saudi or the Sadie Hawkins
Maybe,
dance or something?
maybe.
Yeah, I don't.
I
know
noticed
that
in
exists.
that one prom one, that girl was asking a guy to prom, and I don't know if that's something that is done now.
I
Like
think
she
it
made a big
probably
cake.
is, given that everything's up for grabs now.
Yeah, sure. That I wouldn't have done well with that. Like I would have just gone. You know what? I'm going to take a knee on prom and homecoming because I'm not going to make a fucking sign.
Well, that was
because
what-
I just didn't like the public displays. I wouldn't want to walk up to a girl's classroom and like knock on the door and walk in with my sign.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't have to be like that. I think it's better if it's like that, if you do it in front of a bunch of people. But I think it's gotten to the point where you just have to do it, and you can ask somebody on the sly, but you have to have the sign with you. It's so stupid. It's this
Dude.
extra step, man. And Manny, honestly, like he thought about not going because like I don't want to make a sign.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame you, dude.
I don't either. What did he ended up?
He ended up making a sign.
Yeah. Do you remember what his sign said?
I don't remember.
Can you find out? Because I'd love to know what his sign. Because his sign's going to be. It's not going to be over the top, glittery and homo-y.
No, but he did buy glitter glue.
Yeah,
so-
well, you almost have to. You have to if you're gonna go. You might as well put some effort into it. But
If fishes were wishes and you had 3, would one of them be to go to homecoming with me? And then he's got a fishbowl there. Like, dude, come on, stop it.
I know we saw stuff. They're getting crazy too because the game is not like the sign is cool. Like for I don't know 2 years ago, but now we've got to up our game because I want to show you just how much I want to go to homecoming with you. And we saw stuff last year. Remember where some cop pulls up and the kid's arrested
Yeah.
and he's handcuffed and all the kids are crying and let him go. He didn't do anything. And then the cop's like, by the way, Janice, will you go to homecoming with him?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh
it's
yeah,
One-upsmanship on social media.
So I don't know what the end game is, like where that. I mean, because if you're just gonna be in this forever, like one up each other.
Oh, here's a douchey one.
What do we got, Isis? What is that?
Grace, I'm dying to take you to homecoming, and he's laying down like in a what is that a?
Like police tape, and he's on the.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's a
police.
murder scene.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the outline and
It's got
everything.
the black outline around him.
Oh man.
All right, before we get to E,
Yeah.
Tom Jones, Sir Tom Jones,
Of mouthwash fame.
Listerine specifically, I believe, says he was sexually harassed when he was first starting out in the music industry. Everyone's got to come out now and say it. And it sounds like he wasn't really harassed. It was like someone wanted to, it was like, hey, man, do you mind if I suck your dick? And he was like, nah, I'm going to pass. Oh, okay. But he says that such unwarranted sexual attention was rife in the music industry as it was in the film industry, and that men are as much as women targets. He spoke out amid outpouring of complaints, obviously, about Harvey Weinstein. He was knighted by the Queen in 2006. That's why we have to call him Sir
Right.
Tom Jones. Yes, at the beginning, yes, there were a few things like that, but you avoid it. You just walk out. But what's tried on women is tried on men as well. They try it on. Things have always happened in the music industry as well. There's been people complaining about publicists and different things they've been expected to get a record contract just like a film contract. Makes sense. I mean, if someone can help you get to your dream,
Yeah, you hold the keys.
yeah.
What are you going to do for me?
Dangling above your balls. Oh, well, how bad do you want this key? It just makes sense. It wasn't bad. Just somebody tried to pull. It was a question. I said no, thank you. But then you think, well, I've got to get away from this person. It can't be like this. He says not everyone's like that, but there were plenty in the industry, which doesn't surprise me. I am starting to see some rumblings, though, about Corey Feldman doing a couple talk shows that he's done in recent years.
Good. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, me too. Lastly, wrapping up Tom Jones. You guys aren't big name your dong guys, are you?
I've not named my dong. Should I?
I don't know. I guess a lot of people do.
Do they really?
Yeah. E, what's the name of your dong?
I don't have one.
You don't. If you did have one though, do you like? Would it be like the hammer? Yeah, meet the hammer.
It has
No,
to
it
be,
would
right?
not be.
Wouldn't it have to be? What would it be?
The Punisher.
Like Chester or something? What are you going to name your dong?
I mean,
Yeah,
Only.
you got to be tongue in cheek and stupid about it and be like, yeah, the
yeah,
jackhammer.
the fucking jackhammer. Oh, you
Yeah.
want to meet the jackhammer? You want to meet the Punisher? Do you?
The Punisher.
No.
He named his dog, Tom Jones did.
What do
and
we
he
got?
decided to go with Wendell.
See, that.
But he had a reason for it. The name means wanderer and seeker. He he said he admits that he still uses the mouthwash, by the way. He's still Listerine in that son of a bitch to keep it spick and span and ready for action. I use Listerine to make sure everything down there is sterile, like a surgeon before an operation.
Doesn't that hurt?
It's a good way to do it, he says. I say that mouthwash is not only for gargling.
Honestly, wouldn't that be like putting icy hot, too close to your dong?
Probably. I've never
You know?
tried it.
But you've had that groin pull or
Oh.
something. You've gone icy hot near it, and then it spreads. You're like, oh my god. man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you rub your eye 2 days later,
Oh.
and you still you start burning your fucking eye from it. Yeah, his thing was backstage. He would marinate it, is the way he said it. He would marinate
Yeah.
in a bowl of Listerine. So he just lightly lay his dong into some Listerine. But the reason wasn't about sterilization. I thought
It was like a better hard-on or something.
it made him
wasn't it?
last longer.
Yeah,
it
that's
gave
what I
like a
thought.
level of protection around the dong. And so I don't know if he was a Minuteman or what the deal was, but
I thought it sort of had a numbing agent in it or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the whole point of
Yeah.
it was always. That's when
Which
you guys
makes
used to talk
sense.
about it. I thought that's what the reasoning was.
So
It was
you
so
could
you could
just go.
yeah, but if you've gargled with mouthwash, there's definitely like a numbing,
Little
kind
bit,
of
yeah.
like antiseptic almost feel to
Yeah.
it. So, anyways,
Well, before we get to history, we have a short announcement. Check out the spectacular savings at Zatford and Holly. For the month of October, you can lease a new 17 Ford Escape or Fusion for just $118 a month. These haunting deals will be gone before you know it. So hurry down to Zatford to see our zombie-rific friends and get your ghoulish new Escape or Fusion at just $118 a month. Check out their bone-chilling deals and frightful inventory at dealsinthed.com.
ooh, that was scary.
It's chilling.
It was chilling.
E, are you ready for some history?
sure. I
Okay.
guess.
Well, it is this day in history with Big E. And what edition do we have today?
Oh,
Lonnie.
sorry. Was the music gonna? I didn't know if the music was gonna play or not. It was on this date in 1781 that British General Cornwallis surrendered Yorktown, which did not end the revolution.
What was the year again? I'm sorry.
1781.
1781.
Now it did not. It was not the end of the war, but it might as well have been. Essentially, it was the end of the war. It was the last big fight in the American Revolution. So pretty much this was the end of the war. Last big-
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, they fought for another year or so after, but very small battles. You know how it was. Back
Guerrilla
then-
type uprisings.
Well, back then, the reality is news does not strike that fast.
How awesome is that?
So, like,
You're still fighting. It's like, dude, war's over.
there
man.
would have been people fighting.
Yeah.
Like that happened in the Civil War.
What are you
too.
talking, like bar fights, or are we talking
No.
like
No, there'd
on
be
the ground
people-
with muskets?
There'd be people
Musketry.
all over.
Musketry was abound.
Well, here's the.
Thank you. I'm a visual learner.
This is the battle.
The Battle of Yorktown, right on the edge of the York River.
Why are these guys always backing themselves into a corner, dude? Whether it's a mountain or a river.
America, along with France.
Naval support.
Well, that's true.
America, along with France, had about 18,000 people, whereas in England, with some German troops, only had about 9,000.
Wait, so it was 18,000 versus 9,000?
Yes.
I'm taking 18,000.
Yeah, well, here's the funny thing is, actually, although America was already starting to it was getting to the point with these wars like this, especially back in the day, battles did not just happen, wins and losses did not just happen like as fast as we get news now. So America was pretty much already starting to beat. Here's a picture.
Oh, look at
of
that
the
rendition.
battle.
Wow, I bet
Wow.
that's exactly how it looked.
It's a rendering. So the point of the story is like America already was on the pretty much. It was in the. America was already beating them. It was looking really good for America. Britain was kind of pretty holding back. But in this battle specifically, Cornwallis was planning on having these 5,000 extra people that were supposed to come and save him. So like he kind of kept waiting on this, and they came a week later. In the end. after the
1 week too late.
after he had
Did
surrendered.
they do that on purpose, or they just didn't get the note in time?
It's set. You know what? I did get it here. Where why,
It was
what
like,
the
let's
deal
screw
was.
Cornwallis kind of thing?
Yeah.
Fuck him. I don't like Cornwallis.
Yeah, I'll show up, but dude, you said that last Thursday?
Well, here. Well,
Shit.
I had
Sorry,
this
bro.
Thursday on my calendar.
My bad, Holmes.
Well, there's a guy in New York. Clinton had assembled some 7,000 troops to send to Cornwallis aid. However, the fleet of 25 ships did not set sail from New York until October 19th, the day that Cornwallis was surrendering the battle. So a little too late.
So as he's on his knees, like, please, I surrender,
actually,
waving a white flag, all
Cornwallis,
his boys showed up?
Cornwallis was kind of a pussy because he did not show up to the surrendering, like the final, surrendering moment here where everyone, there's the display here. I have this. Like they always have the display.
Does that make him a pussy, though, if he doesn't show up to the surrendering?
No, he's a sore loser.
He's a proud man.
He's
Okay,
a sore loser.
loser, proud
Sore
man,
loser.
whatever.
George Washington
Pussy.
was the general that beat him in this specific battle, by the way, too. So that is our boy with the wooden teeth.
Is that Washington there on his
That's
hat?
Washington there. This is the house.
That's where it happened, huh?
It's
They
funny,
walked in there and signed everything?
Someone's living in this house. I mean, it's kind of funny.
That's insane. Think about that.
Someone's living there, and
That's where the Revolutionary War ended.
Wow.
The signing of documents to end that.
I'm surprised they would let anyone live in there. It's obviously, what do they call that?
Historic
monument. Historic ground, which
Well,
means you probably can't change anything.
Technically, this
The
is
look of
just
it.
the ending of one battle. Like I said, it was 2 years later that really. It took until. Where was it? It took a few years until they really signed stuff where everybody recognized
it's
America.
Not that significant after all.
Well, it's the last significant battle of the war.
Can I get a better map than what you showed? You showed a very zoomed in map on the York River and everything. I want to zoom out. Give me some context here.
Here.
So again, I'm a visual learner, so
Yeah.
it would
You
help
know that,
me.
E.
I had 4 visual aids ready to go.
Okay.
And I
That doesn't really help.
Yeah, I'm just confused. More confused now.
did you
Boy,
even
there's
get
a
what
lot
was
of
happening, Mike?
tributaries, aren't there?
Tributary. What?
Where are we at?
a lot of
Pennsylvania?
waterways.
Are we in Pennsylvania?
New York, man.
New York. Oh, New York town, yeah.
So this happened. This battle, technically, the battle it was a few weeks actually. Like everything in these old battles, like things took 2 weeks to really build up to this final point. But the reality was, America just had too many people, and he was not willing to.
So what is that 2-week buildup? Is that just like shit talking?
No, there's
a lot
battle.
of shit
There's
talking
fights
going on, or
there's other fights, kind of. Well, a lot of times back in the day. Now this isn't for the specific battle, but a lot of times back in the day, they're marching towards these areas that end up being a battle, and so they're having fights along the way where they're shooting at each other and shit.
so this marked the end of the war, and then 2 years later we had the end of the war.
Yeah.
Well, it was the last major
guess.
battle of the Revolutionary War. Where does it say? Where do they
But
got
certainly
here?
wasn't the end of the deaths or the fighting.
Let me ask you this, Professor. Is it also known as the Siege of Yorktown?
It is.
Oh wow!
The Surrender of Yorktown?
Sure.
The Siege of Little York?
Sure. I mean,
AKA?
you could just keep naming it things. Here's what happened. This battle happened in 1781. Peace negotiations for the war began in 1782. On September 3rd, 1783, the treaty, and then September 3rd, 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, formally recognizing the United States as a free,
Wow, the
independent
Paris
nation.
Accord was signed in 1782.
You know what I
I
find
had no
most remarkable
idea.
about this whole thing? The
What?
Franco-American cooperation.
Oh,
French-
you can count the Franks to do that.
Well, the funny thing is, in reality, though, they helped us out a shit ton. And in fact, probably if it weren't for the French were a big help in America winning the revolution. And then a few years later, when they had their independence, we didn't really,
Yeah, can you
we didn't
imagine
really help them out too
how
much.
pissed the British were at that point? The French are coming over and fucking with that,
Yeah.
their ability to tamp down our revolution. Oh, that would have pissed us off.
Damn frogs.
No, they helped us out a lot, and we didn't really help them out too much a few years later, if I recall
true.
correctly. And when they had their independence,
Yeah.
we kind of just were like, oh, we're kind of a new country over here doing our thing.
Yeah,
crazy.
leave us alone.
When
You
the
know-
heads were falling.
Let me think what else I had here.
How many casualties? Like, I don't know. 60
88
killed,
88 killed,
194 wounded. something like that.
88 killed on their side.
That's it?
326 to 595 wounded. But
Yeah,
then
see,
there-
I've got 301 wounded,
Well,
but
this is what I had. 326 to 595 wounded / prisoners.
what about the effect of malaria? on this.
Huge, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, it was huge in the whole war, dude. All this stuff in the reality is, and then back in those days, I mean, someone gets shot in the leg. A lot of people in the American Revolution and the Civil War don't die from technically on the battlefield from getting shot, but it's infection from either not knowing they were shot or the fact that how they would saw their, oh, you're shot in the leg. Well, we're just gonna saw your leg off, and they have no. You
ever seen those Civil War era doctor's
my
kits?
God.
Mm-hmm. They basically have hacksaws in them.
Dude, it's
And
like
just
what we would think of now is like in a horror movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bite the bullet. That's where they had no, no way of numbing it. So they just give them like a shot of whiskey and
Yeah.
bite on a bullet. And that's where that phrase comes
Well,
from.
I had heard that up to half of Cornwallis's army suffered greatly from the disease of malaria.
Where'd you hear that from?
Heard that too.
Mike, could you cite a source on that, please?
No, I just remember it in my studies.
Is there any sort of
studied
Yorktown
a
Victory
lot.
Monument? Or
There is. I'm not
There's-
sure
Well,
exactly.
there's the
you
field.
asking me?
There's the
I was gonna
field
tell you.
of surrender, I believe it's called, or something.
Boy, that sounds like where a lot of pussies were.
Because I heard that 5 days after the British surrendered, Congress passed a resolution agreeing to erect a structure dedicated to commemorating those who participated in the battle.
in it. The battle. Yep. That's what I remember.
That's what I heard.
That's what I remember from you're thinking back to school, right?
But I'm thinking construction on the monument was delayed, however, as, I don't know, the federal government had several other financial obligations, as you know,
I vaguely remember that.
that were considered far more urgent in nature.
Now that you mention that, I do remember that. Do you remember how long it was
But
delayed?
the good news was, according to my memory, the battle's centennial sparked renewed enthusiasm in the resolution and
That's
prompted
right.
the government to begin building the monument in 1881.
Absolutely. Totally remember that now.
Yeah.
Totally.
Here's Surrender Field over here.
Why don't they just call it Pussy Field?
Because it's, I don't know, Mike, that answer.
I mean,
Because people
surrender,
lose
dude.
wars and
If football's taught us anything, it's you don't fucking give up ever, man. You go to the whistle. You fight to the whistle.
You put eye black all over your face and you fight till the whistle.
Yeah. I didn't hear any fat lady singing at Surrender Island.
Cornwallis was one of the better British generals, but like I said, eventually, I mean, they were getting their ass kicked. That's the reality. They were.
Malaria taking out half his troops, too.
Well, it was a terrible.
And then you
dude,
got Take a Knee Field right down the
the
street.
thing is, the thing of the Revolutionary War is, even though like England should have won the war, considering they had the biggest army on the planet at the time, they were fighting it thousands of miles away.
Not a bad navy, though, E, you have to admit.
The best in the world
Yeah.
at the time, but they're fighting it thousands of miles away. We have the French helping us out, and Native Americans
Thank you for
helping us
correcting
out, and showing them like we weren't really fighting very
Indigenous
clean.
peoples.
We were fighting. They're doing everything they could. Like British were still fighting under the proper, there's proper fighting, and you fight on the battlefield, and then the battle's done, you march away. And America was fine with like going ahead and fucking just shooting at them through the as they're marching, from the woods.
That seems a little hot. Sorry.
It's all right.
Just trying to help accentuate your point.
Thank you.
My bad. You were saying?
No, I'm good. I think
Well, thank you, Professor.
You got
I learned
it,
a
you
lot.
know.
Battle
it's
of Yorktown.
it's a very important day in American history. The last
Hell yeah.
last major battle of the Revolutionary War. That's a war that should probably never have been won, and no one would have. It was a big underdog, and
Hell
here we
yeah.
are today.
Thank God we pulled it
In my
out.
opinion, the best country on the planet.
There you go.
Mine
Because you
too.
visit them all. So
Oh, that's my opinion.
look at George. Look at that son of a
George
bitch.
Washington's a man.
Upon
Yeah.
his slapping stallion.
Fucking chopping that cherry tree down. Son of a bitch. Like that guy. How we doing for email, Jay?
We do have some email, Mike. Before we get to that, however, as we roar into Rocktober, Ram Power Days at Zot M59 Dodge Ram continue to blow away the competition. Due to unprecedented demand, Zot Ford has extended the remarkable 169 lease on the new 17 Dodge Ram Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4.
Hell yeah.
Yes, it's a mouthful, but a 169 lease keeps your pockets full. Folks, this is a loaded $45,000 Ram truck, and they have 175 to choose from, only from dealsinthed.com. Mike, before we get on to email proper,
Oh,
I
for
do
the
have
love of
a
fuck.
series of posts. Now, hold on. This is from Jerry, the wood-burning guy.
Oh, okay. I love that guy.
So give him some due, dude. He sent
it's
us...
the whenever someone comes into Radio for One Studios
Oh,
and
yeah.
takes a look around, it's like the highlight.
It's a
the
conversation
highlight.
piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate conversation
I
piece.
had Fran over here, my friend Fran, who was married to Jason Krause, the guitarist for Kid Rock. And she was like, "Oh my God, can I get a picture of that
Oh,
thing?
what a
Thing
name
is
drop.
absolutely gorgeous. I want to show Jason because he does woodworking. I guess He does woodworking in his spare time, like out in the garage.
Okay.
He was building her some sort of mirror with all the wood carvature that goes into that.
Ornate.
You know?
It sounds ornate.
It's very ornate. I bet you didn't know that about Mr. Krause.
I didn't.
That not only does he shred like a demon on a guitar, son of a bitch has a whittler's hand.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jerry, the fine artisan of producer of that beautiful art piece, writes in. He posts in with the world's largest covered bridge, which is 1,282 feet. It crosses the St. John River between Somerville and Heartland, Carleton County, New Brunswick, Canada. And Jerry chimes in saying, "Good day, podcast heroes. As always, I hope this post finds you well. To quite well. I know your infinite love of spannery." So I thought of you guys as I passed through the gorgeous wooden bridge a few weeks ago. As the card informs, this beauty is the longest covered bridge on the planet. It's more than double the length of the second longest bridge located in Ohio. It's a wee wisp of a bridge at only 613 feet. My province of New Brunswick has over 60 covered bridges remaining, over 400 at one time.
I love a good covered bridge.
They're great, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
2 of them within walking distance of my house, located in a quiet, quiet rural area. I love living the rural life, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. No, they're some beautiful. Look at that. Look at that son of a bitch. That is a long-ass covered bridge.
That sure is.
You say 1,200 feet? Almost 1,300 feet?
That's spectacular. I didn't even realize how much I enjoyed a covered bridge. These ones are almost too perfectly covered. I like those ones that are in the middle of nowhere, and they're short. Maybe they're just going over some railroad tracks or something, or over a quick river, but it's rickety. You don't know if the car's going to make it across.
Sure.
You know, the boards are kind of warped and like that kind of...
That Ichabod crane sort of look, right?
I like that. I want one of those.
I feel you. Noel writes in concerning haunted houses. Another great story from my life, the Halloween version. First off, I always thought it would make a good movie for the workers at a haunted house or amusement park to kill off the patrons. They are masked so no one would ever know. They could kill people in front of a crowd and just claim it was part of the show, then leave through a back exit and no one would know the wiser. Any weirdo could just saunter into a place like that and kill or creep. I thought that's what Scream was about. Wasn't Scream sort of the plot from that was like a horror movie being made, but there's real killings going on?
Yeah.
Funhouse was like that too, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't remember exactly.
Anyway, I went to this haunted house at C.J. Barrymore quite a few years back, says Noel. I was probably...
Is it Barrymore's or is it Barrymore?
C.J. Barrymore's. C.J. Barrymore's.
I think it's C.J. Barrymore's.
Yeah, possessive?
I think so.
Okay. I was probably about 18 at the time, says Noel. At one point, they had the men and women separate and go into different rooms. The women, come to find out later, had a big mechanical spider pop out at them. Ooh, so scary. But the men went a few at a time into this room with fog covering the floor. It was decorated like a fancy boudoir. Out come these 2 really hot vampire girls in fucking lingerie.
Nice.
They were all rubbing against each other and rubbing on the guys. They started making out with each other. And if I remember correctly, my older brother got a little piece of action.
What?
That son of a bitch.
That's excellent.
I was completely stunned. I would have given anything to go back through or lock the door with these 2 chicks so we could get it on. I overheard the guys in front of us saying they really wanted to go back through, so I'm guessing we weren't the only ones. I know that is pretty skanky, but fuck, I was 18 and they were slutty vampires. All the dudes at the end just told the girls that there were some creepy vampires in our room. Good times. I'm sure both of those girls are doing really well for themselves right now.
That's hilarious.
Ooh, Noel. Thank you for writing in, Noel.
I wonder if other people experience that. I'd like to get some confirmation. I've never heard that.
Yeah, you'd think some others would be like, oh, yeah, I remember that shit.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Alex writes in concerning an issue that came up earlier in this show. Foreground, middle ground, and can't see in the background. I finally got around to seeing the Unacknowledged documentary. What are you laughing at?
Because that's how the... That's because foreground, middle ground, and can't see in the background.
You just pointed to the YouTube feed, and that is in
No,
fact
it's
how
good.
it
You guys have a good laugh.
plays
That's a
out.
good one. That's
More
just
fat
clever.
shaming.
That's
No, it's
clever,
good. Fat shaming is always good, and it's helpful
But it's a
to people
clever
that are
way.
struggling with their issues to have them pointed out on a daily basis. No, it's healthy. It's good.
Alex must be one of our YouTube viewers.
Yeah, good.
Foreground, middle ground, and can't see in the background. I finally got around to seeing the Unacknowledged doc on Netflix that Mike went nuts for. I loved it. See, Alex is on your side.
All right.
I also
But-
rewatched The Day That the Earth Stood Still from 1951 a few days after with my girlfriend. She hadn't seen it, and it blew my fucking mind. One scene in particular, a crowd of people is gathered around the ship, and Gort there's a reporter asking people to share their fears about the whole thing. He goes to Clayton, hiding in plain sight, and says, "Would you care to say a few words? I suppose you're just as scared as the rest of us." He replies, "In a different way, perhaps. I am fearful when I see people substituting fear for reason. In fact," and then the reporter cuts him off and moves on to another person. In Unacknowledged, they talk about how the media has been discrediting and ridiculing people who've seen UFOs, so no one will take it seriously, and using fear to control us. The movie came out just 4 years after the Roswell incident, so they've been doing this shit since then. I know it's just a movie, but you know that's exactly what they'd be doing if it were real. Just thought that was interesting. If you haven't seen The Unacknowledged, give it a try, and The Day the Earth Stood Still from 1951, watch it right after. Goodbye, since the beginning listener, several time emailer, Alex.
Yeah, back in the day, those tabloids were, I mean, people bought the shit out of those, and if you remember, like, they got reputable later on. Like, if something comes from the National Enquirer or the Globe, like, it's not just laughed off now, but it used to be just like, you know, Madonna gives birth to alien baby, and there's Madonna, like, cradling some green limb, you know. And there were tons of shit like that. It was like the front page story, and it was more of like an onion rag.
And it was literally like, at that time, you'd be like, who the hell buys this?
Yeah.
And still, you do say that, like, who buys these tabloids because they're so star-driven? But at least they're, like, factually based. Like, to your point, Mike, I mean, it was just absurd. It was like alien abductions all over the thing.
Constantly probings.
Yeah.
They all looked the same. And they would all try to tie, like, you know, a celebrity to an alien or a this to an alien. And stupid. But, you know, if that was done on purpose to make people just laugh it off, it worked, you know, because they did a good job of making people sound insane or just some redneck hick out in the field somewhere. I was drinking moonshine and I saw this alien craft land. You know, it's just like easily discredited. Sure you did, pal.
James,
it's true.
James
Found aliens. Aliens everywhere.
James writes in, Mike is so spot on. There's no such thing as harassment. If we'd keep our women at home where they belong, none of this bullshit PC crap would exist. I expect the Jew lawyers need to justify their careers by making shit up and creating this pussy culture we have now. Ugh. Jay, why do you make me root for Muslims, to take over and fix this culture liberal children that we've created? Shame on you, King, you wet blanket. P.S. There's nothing sexual about a flaccid penis. Okay.
On a shoulder of a woman or a head.
Yeah.
Or a head.
And I'm sorry,
especially on hump day, baby.
The printer is effed, so I'm trying to scroll through and find the emails that I marked. So give me a moment here, Mike.
Sure.
Well, that's not a bad.
We can talk amongst ourselves.
That's not a bad point, Mike. Don't you think?
What?
That it's just if the
kept our women at home where they belong in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant.
Right.
Wouldn't have these issues.
We could be just in their lunches with our drinking and smoking during lunch.
No, I know. It's hard to even discuss because you sound like a fucking pig or a creep, but it's like, oh, I thought we were all equals. We can all handle anything we can handle until it gets too rough, and then you got to go cry and squeal. Baby.
Jim writes in episode number 922, Mike condoning workplace relationships with E's dance partner coming off the heels of the sexual harassment discussion bummed me out a bit. In most professional work environments, any kind of sexual advances aren't allowed, even if it's only joking, as the perception of sexual harassment is enough to get anyone fired. The only reason flipping one's dick out onto a male coworker's shoulder might be better than doing it to a female is that it will most likely not be taken as a sexual advance, even though it could. That aside, if someone is harassed, it might be difficult for the victim not to just play along. Mike stated at the end of the episode that he would do whatever he could to get his foot in the door in the broadcasting industry. For the most part, I can imagine he wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that. Same might go for a woman in a male-dominated environment. Even if a victim is in the right, it might be difficult for her to speak up for fear of getting labeled as a shit stirrer or worse yet, blacklisted from the industry that she's worked so hard to get into.
Deservedly so.
I can only guess this fear is worse in an environment where that kind of behavior is seen as acceptable and harassment is easily dismissed. Really, the only thing companies can do now is have a black and white no workplace relationships and no sexual harassment policy.
Boring.
Sorry if I brought you guys down. Maybe it's my stupid millennial outlook, but the whole discussion really bummed me out. I love you guys, though. You make my workday bearable to quite bearable. Keep up the good work.
I would just say that girl didn't want it bad enough.
You're talking about the
the one that wanted to be in the industry really bad, but then as soon as a flaccid penis landed on his shoulder, it was like run away and sue.
Yeah.
Didn't want it bad enough. No, I know. I know those conversations are going to bum people out. I don't mean to do that. I guess I look at everything in the context of specifically my own experience in a comedy atmosphere, and I know that's just a rarity. It's a super rarity. And if I try to make my same argument in the context of corporation America, name it, it's absurd. It's absurd.
Well, also the discussion, not our discussion yesterday so much because it was focused on the employment context, but I think the discussion out there in social media has gone out of employment and just into like how we interact with each other. And there's a difference between like legal sexual harassment, what you can sue somebody for, which is in an employment context. You're either an employee with this person or they're a contractor working in your environment or whatever. And then there's just like boorish behavior out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
right.
there's like a distinction between that. Like, as I stated yesterday, I just don't understand how people go to work and engage in that kind of activity that can be said to be sexual harassment. I can understand why at a bar a guy would come on to a girl. It's not an employment relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is gross. But you know what I mean? Like, so when you see all this Twitter stuff going on and all that, there's people have conflated those two things, and it's just become like, how are women, not always? How come men act in a sexual way toward women? Well, they're wired that way. I mean, I will never defend a man who sexually harasses someone in the context of employment. And I will never defend a guy who assaults somebody outside of employment or goes too far with somebody, tries to push them into a situation. But I do understand and agree that there's a time and a place to come on to chicks, and to have those kinds of what might be considered boorish or something. I mean,
so
that's
if I ask
between the sexes to an extent.
So if I ask a girl at work, if I go into work and there's, Sally sitting there at her computer and I walk in and go, hey, how would you like, how about we go in the closet and you suck my dick really quick? Like, that's off limits. Like, you can't do that. But if I'm walking down the street and there's a girl is crossing, I'm like, hey, how about you come over here and suck my dick? Like, legally, I'm not in any trouble for that. I'm just a crass pig.
You're a crass pig.
But I'm not going to be sued for yelling, hey, want to suck my dick?
No,
right? Is that basically
what nobody's going to bring a civil rights claim against you, a sexual harassment claim for yelling across the street. It's the employment relationship that creates that. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
This discourse now has just kind of like taken it out of the realm. It's taken a legal term, sexual harassment, and applied to every day.
Yeah.
I think people are just getting like wound up on this. And that's a relevant discussion too. Like, should we treat women boorishly? No. I've got a wife and a daughter that I hope don't get treated like that. I think there's a civilized way to interact out there.
And you're raising boys and teaching them not to treat women like that.
Yeah, but I know that goes on, and I know that's a function of how men are wired to some extent, and how it's a chase, and it's nature's own, baby.
Yeah, and we see it in nature everywhere, from peacockery to the look at my green thing guy. Like,
look at my green thing.
We're wired to be like that, to show off, to try to win the girl.
Don't fucking assault them. Don't be fucking pigs, man. You know, there's a way to go pick up a lady.
Yeah.
There's a way to be civilized about it.
Mm-hmm. And just ask her out.
Don't be a fucking creep.
She'd be more impressed. But, the younger you are, the more immature you are. It's like, how do you show that you like the girl in third grade? You put gum in her hair, or you tackle her.
Yeah.
Or you rip her hair out. I mean, it's like, I'm showing you how much I like you now.
Don't you get it?
Come on, what's the matter with you? but as we get older, you hope to graduate to the point where it's not just like, hey, sweetheart.
Look at my dick.
Look at my dick, yeah. You hope you can be like, hey, you seem like it seems like we'd get along. What do you say? You want to grab dinner or something sometime? Maybe we can end with me putting my panus in your hand or something.
We'll see.
Dude,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
See if I'll let you do that.
No pressure, but, I mean, if we could get this thing, working to completion, that'd be fucking awesome. Let's see what we got here. There's a gentlemanly way to do it like that. Respect, gentlemen.
Respect.
Have a little respect
That's
for the
it
ladies.
right there. Civil discourse.
Respect will get you finished to completion way more than just like
that's the aim,
look
right?
at my dick.
Have our penises finished to completion.
In the history of man, has look at my dick guy ever gotten blown to completion by that girl?
Boy, I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt his numbers are not impressive. I can promise you that.
Save the rest for Monday, Mike.
All right. And I'll keep working on other P.
It's the weekend!
It's the weekend! We'll get Art over here. I promise you. I shouldn't make a promise on Art's behalf. That's just dumb. But we will work on it. Have a great weekend. Have fun. Take pictures of the prom things, Jay.
Homecoming, but sure.
Or homecoming thing. I'd love to see what the boys are dealing with. I'd like to see Manny's date.
Sure.
Russell, if he ends up landing abroad last minute. I'd like to see her as well.
Sure.
So, all right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll do it again next week. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.